Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof.
This lady says produce kills me every time.
Savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local. Shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Jumbo iced caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffee if you don't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey on weightlossdirect.com.
Are you ready?
Good Tuesday evening and welcome to 10 Band TV's presentation of PIHL Class AAA Hockey as Canon Mac takes on Peters Township in the annual Miners Cup game. I'm Matt Gajtka. Thank you for joining us along this journey. Just got the one game for you on 10 Band TV. And again, thank you to Todd Kazarowski and crew for bringing us all the pictures and lovely audio from Printscape Arena. It's that South Hills rivalry yet again, the first of two matchups in the regular season between these two teams who share a rink. They share a lot of things, but they never share the Miners Cup at the end of the night. Funny how that works. Peters Township has now won this thing 4 years in a row. In fact, Peters Township has won 8 consecutive meetings against Canon Mac in the regular season, dating back to the 2018-19 season. But even though you know that history, you know as well, or you're about to know, that Peters Township is 5-3 on the season, coming off a victory 4-1 against Baldwin on the road last week. They're taking on an 0-8 Canon Mac squad for Coach Chuck Fink, still looking for his first victory with this year's Big Mac's team. For Rick Tingle on the other side, well, it's a squad that's gotten things righted after a difficult start. Peters Township was just 1-3, but now they've won 4 in a row, beating Mount Lebo, Central Catholic, and Bethel Park all at home. You saw all those games here on 10 Band TV. And then I mentioned the win against Baldwin last week. Included in that victory, Ethan Williams making 21 saves for the victory at the Ice Castle. PT out shooting Baldwin 41-22 on the night. The Indians connected for a couple of power play goals. Charlie Caputo and Luca Maeda. Maeda actually had a couple of points, both on the power play 1 week ago. Drew Alexander also scored his team-leading 6th goal of the season, and Camden Martin picked up his team-best 7th assist. Martin, the senior, number 91, has 11 total points to lead the Peters Township squad. But as I mentioned, Ethan Williams as well, a star on the night, 21 saves on 22 shots against. And that raised PT's record to the aforementioned 5-3. PT is in 6th place. They can rise as high as 4th with a victory tonight in this 11-team Class AAA configuration. As for Canon Mac, I mentioned they're 0-8. They've lost 8 in a row as well to Peters Township, but considering the stakes of this rivalry, considering there's a cup on the line at the end of the night, would not be surprised if Canon Mac puts forth its best effort of the season as they bust out those bright gold helmets with the traditional-looking white home jerseys this evening. Canon Mac fell 3-0 at home last Tuesday to Upper St. Clair, giving up a couple of goals in the first period and one more in the third. But overall, pretty strong goaltending effort from sophomore Aiden Bobbs. Bobbs making just his 3rd career start at this level, stopped 47 shots, 47 out of 50 for a .940 save percentage. Bobbs has an .893 save percentage on the season, like I mentioned, his maiden voyage in the PIHL, and there he is, number 14, as you watch the warm-ups on 10-Band TV. Want to mention that tonight's game brought to you by WG Tomco Incorporated, and the game itself, the Miners Cup game itself, is powered by the James D'Angelo Foundation. More on that later in the evening. But Canon Mac in last place in Class AAA. It's not all been bad, though. Their penalty killing has been unbelievably good. They are second from the top, in fact, in PK success rate, 92%, and they've also scored a shorthanded goal. So when the Big Macs are shorthanded, they've been at their best this season. They've only been outscored by 2-1 during all that shorthanded time that they've faced through 8 games so far this year. For Peters Township, it's not quite the high-powered Indians offense that we're used to seeing. They're averaging just 3 goals per game. Of course, from the NHL perspective, 3 goals a game is pretty good. That'll put you among the league leaders. In high school hockey and the PIHL, usually more of a higher scoring environment, and it is again this year. Those 3.0 goals per game for PT is 7th out of 11 teams. But their goals against is typically good at 2.4. A couple of goaltenders, senior Kyle Thomas with a .910 save percentage, and junior Ethan Williams with that performance last week at Baldwin boosted his save percentage to .933. Both those goaltenders have multiple years now of varsity experience. Kyle Thomas was the starting goalie for the Penguins Cup Championship last year for Peters Township, you might remember. I mentioned, though, Drew Alexander, the senior forward, 6 goals, 9 points. Also a senior, Camden Martin, 4 goals to go with his 7 assists and team best 11 points. We've also seen some youngsters chip in for Peters Township. The freshman, Blake Ivanchich, 4 goals on the year. That puts him in a tie for 3rd place on the squad with Charlie Caputo and Camden Martin. Caputo also has 4 goals and no assists, identical line to Blake Ivanchich. So a couple of finishers there. Caputo, the senior, got another one last week, and Ivanchich, he put it in 2 the last time I called one of these games 2 weeks ago in the 4-1 win against Bethel Park. There you see PT in its alternate black jerseys for this Miners Cup showdown, and Drew Alexander will take this opening draw at center ice. The Indians are going to attack the goal down to our right on your device screen, and the Big Macs fire in the opposite direction, of course. The Big Macs, technically the visitors tonight, although they are wearing their home whites because PT elected to wear their alternates. Headman pass, here's Camden Martin, and it's offside immediately against Peters Township. Owen Lazaro thought he was home free right down the slot, but the defenseman had to pull up on the whistle. So just 6 seconds in, we get a stoppage in play. Give you more details on how Class AAA is shaping up. We're getting close to the midway point of the season for all these teams. They play 20 games, double round robin, 2 games against each of the 10 opponents for the regular season championship. The top 8 out of 11 make the Penguins Cup playoffs, as Chase Sloan getting the start for Canon Mac, slugs it away from the front of his goal, and the Big Macs set up shop in their own zone. Lead pass, though, broken up. Chasing ahead after this one was Joey Wateska, senior D-man, but he's lodged off the puck on a strong body check. Martin with the flip into the far side corner. Trying to get there is Lazaro. Owen Lazaro rounding the zone, firing it over to the far side. A wrister on the way. Sloan makes the save, and it deflects over the high glass and out of play. 57 seconds into the period. We had a bit of a slowdown with the schedule due to the Thanksgiving holiday, as we usually do, but December's a pretty busy month in the PIHL, and the Class AAA division is no exception to that. All the teams will get more than halfway into the season by the time we adjourn for winter break. Up the near wing, Isbell trying to keep this alive for Canon Mac. Sharp look for the Big Macs. I love the gold helmets. It really adds something to the uniforms. Nothing against blue, of course, but hey, I'm a Pittsburgh fan. I like my gold. I'm guessing most of you out there do as well. Here's Ivanchich. He of the 4 goals on the year. Puts it on net through a screen, through the legs of the defenseman, but Sloan was able to track that one down and freeze with a puck at his feet. Peters Township has outscored foes by 5 goals on the year, 24-19. Making the slow climb up the standings. 4 wins in a row coming into tonight. Canon Mac in search of win number 1. Coming off a shutout loss to Upper St. Clair, as I mentioned in the pregame. Back to take this one, or try to take it, was Austin Corbel. The puck was deflected off his blade. But over to the near wing corner, and the Indians should be able to get this one out, and they do, right in front of their bench. They're on the home bench. Canon Mac's on the away bench. The two sides will be switched in the second half of the season when they meet again in the same place. But the first meeting of every year is always the Miners' Cup game. Mining being a defining part of this region, and why it basically had success early on in the southern hills of Allegheny County. This wrist shot goes wide. Of course, on the border of Washington County as well. Over to the near wing, or far wing, pardon me. Now into the slot, and a shot deflected out of play. Bryce O'Donnell, the senior, nearly turned that one over, but a good stick check at the last moment by Canon Mac kept him from getting that on frame. Again, my name is Matt Gajtka. Thank you for joining me on High School Hockey Night, PIHL Hockey Night on 10-Band TV. You can find that on Amazon Fire, Roku, or right here on the World Wide Web, 10band.tv. Gallardini spinning, the senior D-man, forced it up the near side boards. Out to the neutral zone, and it deflects into the Canon Mac bench. A halting start to this game. I mentioned special teams, something to watch just because of how good Canon Mac has been on the penalty kill. So is Peters Township, in fact. They're just a couple of spots behind Canon Mac with an 88% success rate. They haven't taken as many penalties, just 17 times shorthanded for Peters Township this year compared to 26 for Canon Mac. We play 5-on-5. Both teams' power plays are a little bit lower than what we're used to seeing from both programs, honestly. We'll get to that when they do get on the power play, though, as it's reversed in behind the net. Chopped away from the on-charging Jeremy Poon, but stepping up the wall to keep this alive, Matthew Scouvert. Sophomore forward. Scouvert forces the Big Macs to play it up this near wing, but his line mate John Repepe couldn't quite get there in time. Repepe wearing number 13. He's first on the forecheck on this breakout attempt for the Big Macs. Up ahead it comes, but turned right back over. Now directed into this near corner. Stepping back, Carson O'Donohue. With poise, the junior rear guard makes his way out to center ice. O'Donohue poking it forward, turned it over. Right under the stick of Ryan Walker. Walker's bouncing shot, saved by Sloan. Big rebound, though, to Scouvert in the corner. End of the shift for these guys. They're still giving it their best effort, and Scouvert creates the turnover. Hooked it into the corner. Repepe's on the chase there against Dylan Isbell. But Isbell, the sophomore, one of many sophomores on this Canon Mac team, does make a fine play to help then his classmate Elliot Moser usher it the rest of the way. Looks like Kyle Thomas in net for Peters Township. He's got a 3-3-0 record on the season. More on that in a moment as Camden Martin will latch onto this loose puck. Feed it over to the near corner. Lazaro. Owen Lazaro pinned there, but forced it ahead. Lazaro gets the shot away on the feed from Alexander, and Sloan makes the save. He's got 4 stops already in the opening 4.5 minutes. Anyway, Kyle Thomas at the other end, number 35, the senior for Peters Township, starts in goal. He's got a .910 save percentage and a 2.36 goals against average. One thing Peters Township hasn't done yet this season, though, is shut an opponent out. Still waiting for that occasion here in game number 9 for both them and Canon Mac. And I mentioned Canon Mac was blanked last time out. They've been blanked 3 times on the season by Pine Richland, of course, Upper St. Clair, and Mount Lebanon. We had that game for you as well. It was a 9-0 win for the Blue Devils here. Alexander getting around the edge. Alexander with a pass in front, and it's swatted away. Drew Alexander sensed he had an opening, and he did. And now Alexander has the puck again. Good pass against the grain to find Martin. He swings it along. Lazaro creeping in to Martin. Score! 1-0. Peters Township. Martin on the doorstep. Scores the 5th of his senior season. And with just 5 and 12 seconds gone in the first period, PT's got the edge in the Miners' Cup. And what a beautiful three-way passing play it was. Gotta love Owen Lazaro picking up his first point as well on the pass. Just fantastic stuff from that line. Lazaro playing up front in this game and dazzling so far. Loved his game. Looks like another one of those classic PT power forwards we've seen over the years. There's one on the current roster, in fact, I think of. That's Troy Jones, but in previous seasons, my mind goes back to even Will Barnes, my first couple of years calling Peters Township games several years ago. Mark Lehman, who just saw is in his senior year at West Point, playing club hockey up at West Point. So good for him. Also serving our country. Yeah, great for him in that regard. There's Caputo in after it, forces the turnover for Peters Township. Fisher stepping up. Couldn't make anything happen. Now he retreats to the near side board and has to go all the way back into the neutral zone as here come the Big Macs for a wrister by Michael Traynor that was deflected over the goal. Canon Mac still does not have a shot on goal more than 6 minutes into this game. And that puck's out of play inadvertently off the twig of Ivancic. So Alexander and, well, it should be Lazaro. They said Troy Jones, but it was definitely Lazaro who made that pass. Big 74, the lefty, playing the left wing. Even strength goal for PT. And it was a yawning cage. Nothing Chase Sloan could do about that except just pray that Martin shot it into his glove, a la Frank Pietrangelo about 30 years ago. Kids, ask your parents, or at least your older siblings about that one. Into the corner, O'Donoghue's ridden there hard. Vatodian right in front with that pass and a good chance, and Thomas makes his first save. Push back toward the front and swatted out of danger into the neutral zone by the Indians. Now Martin ahead. It's a breakaway. Lazaro stopped by Sloan. Fantastic save with that right pinball flipper of his to knock it out of trouble. 10:14 to go in the first, and PT denied a 2-0 lead. Lazaro was just lingering back there, waiting for that pass from Martin. Finally got it and stayed on side, to his credit. Pretty good action here early on in the Miners' Cup. I mentioned PT's won 4 of these in a row. 7-1 last year. Both Charlie Caputo and Camden Martin scored a goal each among players returning. Poon centering off a skate. Oh my, that's some friendly fire on Sloan. It bounces into the goal. A score for Peters Township. They just kept hacking away, and Zach Palmieri is going to get credit for that one as he was in the right place at the right time. 2-0. Palmieri's first goal of the year, his senior season. Watch this. Actually, that might have been Palmieri getting that first backhand shot away. I thought it was a Big Mac who shot it on their own goaltender, but sticks came together. It deflected into the chest of Sloan and then couldn't control the rebound. Just a tough one for him to track, and Palmieri follows up his own play right to the side of the net. PT looking hot to trot, trying to convert their 5th straight victory, and like I mentioned, they can climb as high as 4th place in the AAA standings. Palmieri again, and his backhand just missed. He stole that one away in front, and that would have been a beauty of an unassisted goal. Just missed. Palmieri looking for this pass. It's over his stick and a little behind him. They give Poon and O'Donnell assists on the Palmieri goal as Palmieri shoots it on net. Big rebound again. Wateska toward goal. That bounced around. Maybe Sloan got a piece. O'Donnell looking to wrap it around. He had Sloan out of commission for a moment. Now back out to the point. Deflected shot. Goes wide. Shoveled in front. And stopped on Walker's attempt. So the Indians smelling some blood now. They're pushing for more and more and more in the opening period of this one. Like I mentioned, last year's Miners' Cup game, same week, first week of December. Sometimes it's happened earlier, sometimes it's happened later, usually later, actually, depending on the schedule. But it seems like the PIHL has tended to bunch these meetings late in the season between these two teams. But the last 2 years, they've gotten them together here early in the 12th month. It was 7-1 last year. 2 years ago, it was 4-3 in favor of Peters Township. In fact, this is Kyle Thomas's second Miners Cup game because as a sophomore, he got the win in that one. Gallardini goes off the short side post with that forehand shot. So the Big Macs are not just sitting back and letting it all happen. They're being proactive. At least that line was. Elliot Moser also had an opportunity. Here is Moser. Ducking in deep, firing it in front, and Batodian put it off the glass. Misfired from in close. This has been Batodian's fourth Miners Cup game. He's played 4 varsity seasons. Batodian scored a goal and an assist in that 4-3 loss for Canon Mac 2 years ago. As here's Gallardini pinned by Ivancic. Gallardini escapes. Takes a gander up ice. Skies it off the window. Rocco Musto guided it over to the near corner. Now Max Hart looking for it. Canon Mac has scored 9 goals in 8 games. Looking for some offense, obviously. Where can it come from? Turning shot from the boards by Brady Holleran. That's blockered away. You could hear it from up here by Sloan. And pushed down and out through into the safety of neutral zone and now into Peters Township territory. Holleran, angle pass ahead. Unable to take that one. Isbell will gladly regain possession for Canon Mac. Musto on the handoff. Caputo rips a shot. Got a good amount of velocity on that one, but a stick save by Sloan from 50 feet out. One touch into the Peters Township zone. The Indians have it again. 6:58 to go in the first period. Goals in this first by Martin and Palmieri. A couple of seniors convert in the early going. O'Donohue has a look, shoots high on Thomas, who stays on his feet to absorb that one. So yes, Kyle Thomas, Ben Vatodian on the Canon Mac side, they played in the game 2 years ago. Vatodian was the only player on the ice, or is the only player on the ice tonight, who has played in 4 of these. PT won 3-1 in 2021. That came much later in the year because the season was delayed due to COVID. And then in 2019-20, PT won 4-1 that night. Lazaro slides it out to the line. Wateska shot. Good blocker save by Sloan. It hops off him to the corner. Lazaro again. Boy, he's looking great. Backhand pass to Martin. His backhand shot floats over the goal. Wateska to the corner and Lazaro mishandled. And so it'll be Digby Bednar with the exit play. Up the far wing, Austin Smith helped it further. 6 to go in the first period. Quick moving period, no penalties yet. Martin charging in. Camden Martin, stuff try. And Sloan is equal to that task yet again. He covers and holds. So the interesting thing about, I told you about the 4 straight Miners Cups, but in 1920 and, not literally 1920, in 2019-2020 and 2020-2021, Canon Mac was a combined 27-10-3. That was a heck of a run there for the Big Macs. They finished in first place one of those 2 years in the regular season. But out of their 10 total losses over that spectacular 2-season stretch, 4 of those were against Peters Township. They lost all 4 in those 2 seasons and did not meet in the playoffs. It's been a little while since we've seen these 2 teams collide in the Penguins Cup. I covered one of those games. It has to be at least 6 years ago at this point. I can't quite recall the year. And the PIHL website database only goes back so many seasons. Offside against Peters Township. So now you know the history. Boy, do you ever. I gave you more than you bargained for, I think. But past is prologue, as someone once said. It always helps set the table. Even if, as I said, most of these players are competing in either their first or their second Miners Cup game. It's not like the pros or even some college scenarios where you do get a lot of those repeats over the years. Especially for PT, it's hard to play as a freshman, so there's not much opportunity to be the guy who plays all 4 seasons. Whistle and a stoppage. The faceoff will be just outside the line. There you see flashing up on your screen the 55 of James D'Angelo, former Peters Township player, former competitor on the the Cal U Vulcans hockey team as well. Tragically died due to electrocution, drowning incident a couple of years ago. And since then, his family has set up this foundation. Had a golf outing a couple of years. This is deflected out to center ice. Just go to jamesdangelo.weebly, weebly.com, or just search the James D'Angelo Foundation to see what they're all about. The foundation created as a system of support for James's family. Last year, the golf outing was at lovely Quicksilver in the summertime. Anticipate an announcement in the coming months where the 3rd annual golf outing will be. Anyway, you can go to the website and just donate directly. Caputo open, and he just missed, pushing that one inside the left post. Charlie Caputo with a speed rush down the right wing. PT in early command. And if you were wondering how it was going to go, you had to bet that PT was going to come out pretty strong considering how well they played lately. Save on Holloran's chance by Sloan. Holloran leads the charge to get the puck back behind the net. And there he is with Caputo. Holloran had it poked off his stick and right to Jack Vollmer, the junior D-man. Vollmer ahead, and it's Roman Gasparini on the dump in. Big Macs can't make anything happen. No real sustained in-zone pressure for Canon Mac so far. This has just been a slow starting team. Another reason that I thought we'd see a hot start for Peters Township is that Canon Mac has scored just 1 goal in their first period action this year. 1 goal in the first, 1 goal in the second, 7 in the third. Figure that one out. But that's how they've been this year, at least so far. Maeda winding it up. Used to play forward, now plays D, but he joins the rush here looking like a forward. Drop pass in his direction. Instead, it's handled by Holloran. His deflected shot ends up in the near corner. Lazaro. Look at him wheel and deal to borrow a Mike Langism. Over to Maeda, back to Lazaro. Wanted to go back in front to Camden Martin, who he hooked up with for the first goal of this game, but that was blocked and out to the safety of center ice. But here's Lazaro, regathering. What a deke! Scores! Holy, where did this guy come from? Owen Lazaro providing a power boost to this Peters Township offense in the first period. A dazzling goal as he danced his way in and stashed it behind goaltender Chase Sloan for a 3-0 lead. To borrow another Mike Langism, he left him on the freeway, left him on the parkway on the way to the airport. Boy, goals like that stand out over the course of a long season. This sport features all kinds of goals. Some ugly ones, some pretty. That one is in the latter category as Lazaro waves to the bench, says he wants to stay out a little bit, and hey, why not, as the puck has bounced in on Thomas, and he hangs on. So Lazaro, I have him listed as a defenseman, but he is playing forward, and is he ever in this first period tonight? Made a couple of Big Macs miss high in the offensive zone and then went to work against the goaltender. Just a routine backhand into the yawning cage. Lazaro, the senior. Boy, you could really add to this Peters Township offensive depth. I mentioned they've been looking for some more. They've got 3 guys with 4 goals. Pardon, 4 actually. 4 with at least 4. Alexander has 6. Ivancic, Caputo, Martin. They have 4 each. Wrist shot from the angle goes wide of the net. On the opportunity for Poon, and this melted down on Wateska's point drive. 1:22 left in the first. All 3 goals by Peters Township in this game, even strength. The PT power play clicking at 19% on the year. That's 7th in the league. 6-4-32. They did score 2 last time out, though, in the 4-1 win at Baldwin at the Ice Castle. So a sizable margin to start this game, this Miners Cup showdown. O'Donoghue to the outside. And if Canon Mac can just get 1 before the buzzer ending the first period, that would be considered a win at this point. Just give themselves some hope. Musto, backhand play, good one, and Thomas made the save on the one-timer by Bryce Wilson. He had to go across his body a little bit. It limited the power he could get on that shot, unfortunately for him, and Thomas was square to it. Under a minute to go in the period. Ranging back for this one, Hudson Phillips. Clears it up the near wall and out. Big hit in the neutral zone as Michael Traynor was crushed up against the low wall in front of the Peters Township bench. Play continuing on the far side, under a half minute now. Guided off a Peters Township leg. PT in the black and the red with the vintage white, if you will. Meant to look a little bit faded by time. So a throwback look. Here's Lazar. Look, then pivot back confidently in front of his own net. Over on near wing with Teska. Just 4 seconds to go in the period. PT needs a quick shot. They get it from Holloran. Booted out by Sloan. And there is the buzzer, ending period number 1. The first 2 points of the season for Owen Lazaro, a goal and an assist. Also Camden Martin scoring to open his account for the night. And Zach Palmieri scored the one in the middle. PT leads 3-0 after 1 period of play. We'll be back with the second period of the Miners Cup game 2023 after this break on 10 Band TV. Shots on goal were 17-4 in favor of Peters Township in that first period. Kyle Thomas made 4 saves in the PT net. He's now down to our right. And Chase Sloan stopped 14. Usually 14 saves in a period, pretty good. Not saying it wasn't pretty good, in fact. Just not enough to hold off this Peters Township offense, which is pouring it on right now. And the top line is back out there again. Alexander with Martin and Lazaro. Alexander grinding on the far side, trying to pry it loose against Elliot Moser. Couldn't do it. Gallardini joins the fray. Up off the wall with that one. And here comes Vitodian. Maybe an odd man rush if the Big Macs hurry. Vitodian takes the shot. PT back-checked well. Was probably the best option. And the blocker saved by Thomas. Caven Fisher has a look, sends it ahead. Here is a 2-on-1. Lazaro in front, and he passed it, trying to pass off the pads maybe. Looking for Alexander, and a whistle sounds. Halting play. Do we have our first penalty of the night? With 16:13 to go in the second period. I think we might. 2 minutes for a high stick, and it's against Peters Township. An offensive zone penalty to the alternate captain, Drew Alexander. High sticking the call. And the Peters Township penalty kill, ranked 4th in the league, 88%, also has scored 3 shorthanded goals, one each by Camden Martin, Troy Jones, and Drew Alexander. Back out to the blue line. Here's Edgar. Edgar holding. Canon Mac penalty kill, great. The power play not so great. 1 for 25 on the season, but Vatodian put it off the toe of Thomas and cleared by Peters Township. 1 for 25, 4% for Canon Mac on the power play this year. Big reason why just the offense hasn't performed as they hoped. Get 25 power plays, you'd hope you put in 4, maybe 5. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that might get you 1 or 2 more wins at this stage of the season, depending on how these games play out. Push forward by Max Hart, number 79, but he turns it over in the end, and Paul Mary dispatches it. So I'm seeing on the online box that Troy Jones has been credited with that third Peters Township goal. It could be he's just wearing Lazzaro's jersey. I am not sure, in fact. If that's the case, I apologize to Troy Jones. I was hyping him up as the power forward earlier in the game. If it is him, that would explain a lot, actually, because we have seen some flashes like this from Troy Jones over the past couple of seasons. O'Donoghue passing it over. Here's Vatodian trying to shoot. That was blocked in front by Hudson Phillips. 21 seconds to go on this first power play of the game for either side. Into the middle, broken up. And here is Jones, I suppose, turning it back into traffic, and O'Donoghue poked it away. O'Donoghue gets tied up with Camden Martin. They end up tying up a little bit longer as O'Donoghue threw Martin's stick down. It got lodged in his jersey. Bedner's backhand, or Trainer rather, and Thomas makes that stop routinely. The power play comes to an end. Alexander's out of the box. And here come the Indians, and it's a delayed call coming up against Canon Mac now. Maeda dishes to the corner. Caputo hands it off. Charlie Caputo gave it over to Gallardini for Canon Mac, and slashing is about to be called against the de facto visiting team. And we have confirmed that that is Troy Jones in Owen Lazzaro's jersey. Okay. Like I said, felt a little fishy that all of a sudden Lazzaro would be playing forward and completely dominating. No offense to Owen, but hadn't really shown that much in the early going this year. And there's Lazzaro's shot. There he has it again. Well, no, it's not Lazzaro. It's Troy Jones. Jones, nice move to the front. What a pass! Score! Camden Martin again from right out in front. He's got 2 goals. Scored from maybe a combined 5 feet away. He's the junkyard dog tonight, and it's 4-0. Someone's got to score him, right? Camden Martin, the captain, goes right to the cooker, and look at this. He takes a couple of cross checks in the back. Actually, some blocker punches from Chase Sloan before he sticks it in behind Sloan. Gathering in the rebound of Jones's shot as he made a move past a Big Mac in the right circle. Had to feel good. The goalie's jabbing you in the back, and then you put one past him. 4-0. Power play goal, Peters Township. Their 7th of the season. Martin's team-leading 3rd power play goal of the year. So Troy Jones, incognito Troy Jones, has a 3-point night, a goal and 2 assists. Martin has 2 tallies. And PT's off and running in the second period. 4-0 is the advantage. Rister goes high from the frustrated Eli Pruss. Thought he should have done better on that opportunity for Canon Mac. Now cruising through into the attacking zone. Caven Fisher pulls up in the corner. Does Fisher. Dropped it on back. Corbel wristing. Saves Sloan. Big rebound on the deflection. But O'Donoghue clears. Hammered away to the side wall. Poon pulling up. Finding Fisher again. Fisher slows things down. And a headman delivery is a good one. But Scooford had to drift off his stick as he looked to make his way into the attacking zone. Whipped right back in by Peters Township. Back on the take, Digby Bedner, sophomore. If it sounds like I'm saying sophomore a lot for Canon Mac, that's because they have 11 sophomore skaters plus the sophomore goalie, Aiden Bobb. So 12 sophomore players on head coach Chuck Fink's team. These players are getting tons of experience, but I'm sure they're tired of hearing that. They want to get some wins. They got a long road here tonight, though, as a wrister is deflected off the glass. Grayson Costa took the shot on the setup from Vitodian. Moser at the sideboard. Scouvert takes it away instead for Peters Township. Feeds it out to center. One of the Indians was dispossessed. Here's Scouvert leaning in. It's offside with 11:17 to go in the second period. Three goals in the first, one here in the second for Peters Township. Austin Corbel gets the secondary helper on the Camden Martin power play goal in this period. PT's had the lead since just 5 minutes into period number one. That was when Martin connected on a pass from Troy Jones, who at the time I thought was Owen Lazaro. Whistle and a stoppage in play. The faceoff's going to come out into neutral ice, away from goalie Chase Sloan and the Canon Mac net. Martin from Jones and Alexander at 5:12 of the first. At 7:03, Zach Palmieri from Jeremy Poon and Bryce O'Donnell. Then Troy Jones taking it himself for a brilliant breakaway goal at 14:39 of period number one. And PT's on pace to at least match last year's 7-goal output in the Miners' Cup game. Maeda leading the rush. He's used to that as a converted defenseman. Used to be a forward is what I'm saying. Caputo takes advantage of some legal interference at center ice. Shot was blocked. Now Holleran gives it back to Caputo in the corner. On the handoff, here's Ivancic to Caputo and gave it away on the turnover far side. This is icing against Canon Mac. The Big Macs thought they had gotten to the red line, but apparently not. Standings in Class AAA. North Allegheny, Pine Richland, Upper St. Clair, and Seneca Valley are all tied with 12 points. Although Seneca Valley's played 9 games, the rest have played 8, so by points percentage, it's a 3-way tie between NA, Pine Richland, and Upper St. Clair. Bethel Park, 1 point behind at 11, and Peters Township, 2 points behind at 10. PT actually can vault into a temporary first-place tie with a victory tonight. But with other teams in action as well, someone's guaranteed to get at least a point. So that tie would not last. But still, quite the accomplishment after being 1-3 about a month ago, exactly, in fact. Jones to Alexander, got a man backdoor, score! Camden Martin, and yeah, Camden, that's 3. The hat trick. 5-0 Peters Township, and another brilliant passing play by this forward trio. Well, this one was from a little bit further out for Camden Martin, but not by much. And honestly, he'll tell you, 3 of the easier finishes he'll get this year. Look at that pass. And actually, Sloan nearly made a sensational save. Looking at the replay, it bounced off his glove and in. It was a half-open net for Martin, and he hammered it home with 9.5 to go in the second. Alexander got a lot of room. That's where Canon Mac made the mistake. Just couldn't pick up the 3-man rush. Could not mark up effectively in their own end. Toward goal, Thomas hangs on to this one. We get a stoppage in play on Moser's nudged forehand. 4 points for Troy Jones. That matches his season total coming in. Jones, just a junior, now in the season with 2 goals and 6 assists. I'd say he'd be on Martin's heels, but Well, he would be if they were on the same line. They weren't getting points on each of these goals, basically. Martin now has 14 points to lead the Indians. 7 goals, 7 assists. So Camden Martin gets it done. And yeah, he knew right away. A couple of times the Indians go into that end board glass area. End zone glass, I guess you would say. Down by their locker room to celebrate with a couple of fans that are on the outside of the rink. That was a nice touch, I thought. Always fun to get the fans involved when you can. Snapshot goes wide from Costa. He's had a couple of looks in this game for Canon Mac. Edgar around the wood to the near side for the Big Macs. Isbell trying to escape or at least buy some time. Just past the halfway point of the second period and the game. With a 5-0 Peters Township advantage. Winner gets the Miners' Cup. PT trying to make it 5 in a row. Vitodian pulls the trigger on a heavy shot, but got nothing but glass. Maybe grazed the butt end of the stick of Thomas. Over into the near corner, cleared right by Bryce O'Donnell. Fisher runs into Austin Smith of the Big Macs and spun right back in by Canon Mac. Corbel up the far wing. Redirected ahead. Scouvert, sharp angle try. Sloan, 1 save and a second save as well. Halting play with 7.5 to go. So also tonight, North Allegheny plays at Cathedral Prep. I don't want to assume anything, but I'm pretty sure NA is going to get a point out of that one. It is a road game, long trip up to Erie. That's the one that Peters Township will be making next week. Wrister off the post from the point. That close to a screenshot goal by Eli Prado, I believe it was. Repepi wrist one off the blocker of Sloan. And that is number 27. Prado. Later this week in Class AAA, Upper St. Clair is at Central Catholic, and Cathedral Prep again is back in action to play Pine Richland. So the Ramblers are going to be busy boys over the next 7 days. Counting tonight, they'll play 3 games. That one against Peters Township will be the third in that series. Rare offensive zone draw for Canon Mac, but as luck would have it, they win it too strongly back to the point. They can't hold it. O'Donoghue has to retreat to retrieve. Retreat to retrieve. That sounds like either a novel or a hockey practice drill. O'Donoghue to the near side. Now Smith has to pull it in and pitchfork it in from center ice. Led to a turnover. Maeda cruising around the outside. Maeda right out in front. Sloan makes a great save on John Repepi, bidding for his first varsity goal. Here's Repepi again. And Sloan getting a little ticked in net now, getting frustrated. He's hacking at a couple of Indians in front. I don't believe any penalty's been called. Caputo, well, now the whistle does sound on the offside. Matthew Scouvert was trapped deep. He was tied up with Sloan for a little bit. So Cathedral Prep's already played 9 games. They'll be at 12 by a week away from tonight. PT will be at 10 after they play Cathedral Prep next week. More of a usual balanced schedule for them. Ivancic, as we creep toward the 8 o'clock hour on this Tuesday night, first week of December. Oh, it's really hockey season now. You can smell it in the air. Caputo, Holleran couldn't handle it. The pass handcuffed him. Caputo to the corner. Looking to gather it in again. Holleran's there. He's stapled by Max Hart of Canon Mac. Under 6 to play in the second period. We take the long break between the second and the third periods for the ice resurfacing. Just shooting that one out to center ice. It worked for Braden Phillips and the Big Macs. Shot off the post by Eli Pruss. Oh, he's had a couple of looks in this game. Pruss again. Or pardon, that was actually Digby Bednar with that second chance. Or was that Rocco Musto? Usually the Big Mac's numbers don't give me issues, but we've got several players with the 1 and another digit on their backs out there on the ice right now. It was Musto, it was Wilson. I apologize. That might have been Wilson, in fact. Looked like 10 to me initially. That's why I said Bednar, but it was Wilson. Bednar wasn't out there for that shift. Dished ahead to Alexander. Cutting across the slot. Dropped it back. Martin, 3 goals on the night. Camden Martin leaves it. Hudson Phillips on the dump in. Right to the corner. Alexander dishing. Jones got a man back door, and Martin didn't see him. Now Phillips shooting deflected by Jones over the net. That was Alexander actually swooping in front. And cleared by Canon Mac. Boy, that was looking like it was going to be goal number 6. And goal number 5 on the night for this top line. They've got 4 of the 5 for Peters Township. Well, I suppose the grouping does. Not at 5-on-5 do they have 4 of the 5. They have 3 at 5-on-5. Jones, what a move, and a shot. It's blocked. Wateska toward goal. Sticked out of play routinely by Sloan. So anyway, to rehash, we have Martin and Jones factoring in on 4 of the 5. 3 of them at even strength, 1 of them on the power play. And then Palmieri with assists from Poon and O'Donnell, the 5th goal out of the bunch. Wristed by Corbel, gloved and held by Sloan. He saw it the whole way, jumped up a little bit, in fact, to look over the screen. Turned out to be a good idea. Palmieri here. Turned over to him. Zach Palmieri snatched out of the air by Chase Sloan again. So if PT does win, they'll be at 12 points, but they'll have played 9 games. So that's why in the pregame I said they can get to a 4th place tie technically because of the points percentage deal. Yes, they would be tied in terms of total points. So that's why I put it that way, just to be clear. You might have thought, hey, I thought they could be tied for the top. Yes, they could, but with 1 more game played than 3 of those teams. Possibly 2 of those teams, depending on what North Allegheny does tonight. Pruss snapping it and missing it. Hart wanted to give it back to the point. Could not do so, was picked off. And it slides through to center. Poon's got a man coming late. Poon's going to shoot and score! He overpowered Chase Sloan with a wrist shot from the inner edge of the left circle. And it's 6-zip Peters Township. 3 to go in the second period. Jeremy Poon's first goal of the year, first multi-point game of the year. He's got a goal and an assist. That's the inner edge of the circle. That was more like the dot. That was a heck of a shot. Not as close as I had thought it was. So a shot from relative distance on the angle too. Beat Sloan high glove side. 3 in the first, 3 in the second. Vatodian yanks it through though, trying to get one back, and he's stopped by Thomas. He shot that puck, did Vatodian, right into the Peters Township alternate logo on the chest of Thomas's sweater. This is maybe the 6th or 7th season for these alternate uniforms for PT. They wear their usual red helmets that they wear on the road in their red jerseys with these, as you see. Not a bad look, I would say. I'm not usually a fan of a lot of black on a uniform if it's not like your primary color, and I think they make these work quite well. O'Donohue on the clear. And again, like I was saying late in the first, Canon Mac just needs something to go their way. O'Donohue shooting, that was blocked. Maeda takes it back. Luca Maeda with 2:20 remaining in the period. Left it behind. That was going to be offside. On with it was Trainer, handed it off. Musto couldn't pull the trigger. He was confronted there by Prado. Kicked along to the near corner. Headman pass off of Gallardini. Ivancic harassing him. But it sprays loose to Grayson Costa. Up off the far wood. Caputo trying to handle this bouncing puck. After 2 periods of play, can get a little chippy out there. Ice quality-wise. No fault of anybody. Holleran pulling up. His pass was blocked, but right to the on-charging Ivancic, right to the front. Shot pass. I think Holleran got a piece, but couldn't guide it on net with 90 seconds to go. Here comes Caputo. He hit the crossbar, I think. It tinked off the metal and then hit the glass. Stayed in play. Behind the back pass by Ivancic. Now trying to catch up to it behind the net. High flip. Played with the legal stick by Caputo. I thought it might have been high. Ruled to be legal by the referee in the zone. Down to our left. Under a minute to play in the second period. Caputo makes a man miss. Makes another man miss, but the puck bounced away. It was stick checked at the last second. Caputo shooting from a sharp angle off the outside of the net. Martin left it behind. Camden Martin. What else has he got in store tonight? He tried to make a dipsy-do move and was denied there. And then the puck flipped out of play by Canon Mac. The Big Macs get a much-needed change. Down a handful very late in the second period. They've got to stay vigilant. They don't want to hit the running clock situation in the third period. Well, now they did start a little bit earlier. It's like they read my mind for a second. Corbel gunned it down the wall. Alexander back there. Drew Alexander wanted to go top shelf, and I think he hit the outside of the goal frame with that flip shot. Hart to Vollmer. Makes a move onto his backhand, feeds it across. 12 seconds remaining. Big Mac's just trying to avoid giving up another one, but they have to face another defensive zone draw after the icing. Just not a lot going right for Canon Mac tonight. Martin on the face-off. Goes forward with it toward the slot. Still time for Jones and company to make something happen. Backpedals and shoots, says Jones. It was deflected by Martin. Save made by Sloan right at the horn, ending the second period of play. 2 more goals for Camden Martin, and a snipe from Jeremy Poon has given Peters Township a 6-0 lead through 2 periods in the 2023 Miners Cup game. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is 10 Band TV's presentation of PIHL Hockey Night Live. We'll be back for the third period after this break.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
2 jumbo ice caramel drizzled peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented Heads Up Sports Training System. Improve your reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
Two jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10-Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10-Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Two jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
Dead. And now Alexander has the puck again. Good pass against the grain to find Martin. He swings it along. Lazaro creeping in to Martin. Score! 1-0. Peters Township. Martin on the doorstep. Scores the fifth. Poon centering off a skate. Oh my, that's some friendly fire on Sloan. It bounces into the goal. A score for Peters Township. They just kept hacking away. And Zach Palmer for the first goal of this game, but that was blocked and out to the safety of center ice. But here's Lazaro regathering. What a deke! Scores! Holy, where did this? And there's Lazaro's shot. There he has it again. Well, no, it's not Lazaro. It's Troy Jones. Jones, nice move to the front. What a pass! Score! Camden Martin again from right out in front. He's got 2 goals. Scored from maybe and about a month ago, exactly, in fact. Jones to Alexander. Got a man backdoor. Score! Camden Martin, and yeah, Camden, that's 3. The hat trick. And pitchfork it in from center ice. Led to a turnover. Maeda cruising around the outside. Maeda right out in front. Sloan makes a great save on John Rapepi, bidding for his first varsity goal. Here's Rapepi again. Could not do so. Was picked off. And it slides through to center. Poon's got a man coming late. Poon's going to shoot and score! He overpowered Chase Sloan with a wrist shot from the inner edge of the left circle. And it's 6.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
2 jumbo iced caramel drizzled peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented Heads-Up sports training system, improving reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
Two jumbo iced caramel drizzled peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10-Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10-Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
2 jumbo iced caramel drizzled peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented Heads-Up sports training system, improving reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. play with your head up.
Two jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10-Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10-Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Just about third period time from Printscape Arena in South Point, Pennsylvania. Peters Township leads Canon Mac 6-0 in the 2023 Miners Cup game. Thank you for joining us. The game presented by our season sponsor for Peters Township, WG Tomco Incorporated Contractors, and the game itself presented by the James D'Angelo Foundation. And again, for more information, just search James D'Angelo Foundation. Last name spelled as you see there on the back of the young man's jersey on the top of your device screen, or you can go to jamesdangelo.weebly, weebly.com, and find out how to donate to benefit the family who lost James tragically on July 4th, 2021. He was just 23 years old. He died in an electroshock drowning accident. They've had a golf outing the past 2 years to help raise money to support the family in the wake of James's death, survived by his mother, Jeanne, his father, Jay, and his sister, Abrielle. Icing against Peters Township to start the third period, as PT is going to go for their 5th consecutive Miners Cup victory here tonight and a 9th consecutive win against Canon Macmillan overall. These are the only two AAA teams who make Printscape Arena home. But the situation is quite common across the league. 3 AAA teams make Barrel up in Warrendale home. Seneca Valley, Pine, Richland, and North Allegheny. Troy Jones, indefatigable tonight, but he lost the puck there. Instead, now rifled into the attacking zone by Peters Township up the near wing. Checking to see if that's still Chase Sloan in net for Canon Mac. Didn't catch a number, as here are the Big Macs. Vatodian pushing it toward goal. Thomas the save, wraparound try. And Vatodian couldn't stuff it in. He and Martin collide, and I think Vatodian's about to go to the penalty box. And in fact, it is a change. In netminders, Aiden Bobbs, 0-3 on the year, .893 save percentage. The sophomore replaces Sloan after 2 periods. Penalty against the Big Mac's captain, Ben Vatodian. Tough night for him. He's definitely seen better days with this Canon Mac program. Just a shame as a senior that looks like the squad is going to finish near the bottom of the standings. His first 2 years, Canon Mac won a combined 27, 10, and 3, including a first-place finish. So the power play logs on for Peters Township, although they're not putting the top power play unit out there right now. It's Caputo, Holleran, and Ivancic. No offense to those gentlemen, but not who Rick Tingle would usually send over the boards in a close game. Rick, in effect, calling off the dogs here. You hear that a lot in youth sports, don't you? A lot of times from parents yelling at coaches to call off the dogs. I guess those little mutts have been sent home in this case. Although the margin isn't wide enough for even a running clock at this point. We have seen that in a few PT games over the years here. And we might have a little tussle. We do have a tussle back in the Canon Mac zone. Caputo, and who was that? That he tackled to the ice. And I don't put it all on Caputo as well. I'm sure there was a lot going on there. Is that Michael Trainer, number 17? Well, Trainer's going to the bench. Okay, it was Gallardini. There he is, the alternate captain. So the captain, the alternate captain in the box for Canon Mac now. They'll stay short by one man, though. The second power play of the night. PT's 1 for 1. Just the third power play goal scored against Canon Mac all year. So not even the PK giving a solace to the Big Macs tonight. It's just how it's going for him at the moment. By the way, Vitodium went to the box for hooking. I don't think I said that. In fact, I know I didn't say that. My apologies. O'Donoghue tried the shot. You see on the bottom of your device screen, well, I'll get to that in a moment, as O'Donoghue looks to work his way between the circles and does, but the puck's poked off his stick. At the bottom of your screen, just flash your phone up to those QR codes and get great deals from a variety of business partners here at 10 Band TV, including the just released Trigger 8 Pro Ribcore stick from CCM. That sounds fun. I don't spend a ton on sticks, but I might make an exception if I can get a deal through 10 Band TV. Pass across. Now picked up by Fisher. Kevin Fisher upended. Play continuing on. Here is Martin dishing toward the front. Alexander. So this top unit does get right at the end of this power play. Fisher off the boards. Fisher against Bobs. And he's stopped by Aiden Bobs from point-blank range. And then Fisher takes a shove at Rocco Musto in front. Well, it's not been so cordial here in the third period, has it? By the way, both Caputo for Peters Township and Gallardini for Canon Mac got corresponding roughing minors. Maeda, open man far side, and could not get the shot away. That was Poon looking for his second goal of the game. Jeffrey Poon. Or pardon me, Jeremy Poon. My goodness, Jeremy. I apologize. Jeffrey was a Poon from years past, and I hope I haven't called you Jeffrey earlier tonight as well. Look out. Another wrestling match on the far side. And it is Bednar, number 10 for Canon Mac. And yeah, the Big Macs are just horribly frustrated right now, and they're letting it get to him at the moment. Roman Gasparini now takes a swing at Maeda, and Prado's getting in between them. And there aren't enough men in stripes out there. That's the one thing about having only two officials on the ice in PIHL games. I mean, look at this. How can two guys handle that? They're trying their best. Right now, they're just hoping that nothing else breaks out elsewhere. Bednar dragged out of there on hands and knees. And Poon is screaming at Bednar as he gets pulled away. Well, those two Big Macs are headed to the bench, or to the bench, yes, the bench in the locker room. We won't see them again tonight. Just hope everything in the stand stays cool. Yes, rivalry games, we love them, but also it can lead to some of what we just saw there. Well, the penalty boxes are going to fill up more. Gallardini's already in there, still in there with the roughing minor. We might need to have a surrogate or two if there were misconducts handed out, and I think there were. I see that little kid in front on the camera. He does not know he's being broadcast to the world on 10-band TV. He's enjoying the AC/DC with little sister, it looks like. Nothing like a good crowd shot to pass the time. Well, no new entries in the penalty box. It might take a little while to sort this one out. Honestly, there were two separate skirmishes, one with Bednar involved and another with Roman Gasparini, two sophomore Big Macs. Caven Fisher was in there for Peters Township. I didn't see what instigated it. And it looks like one of the referees needs a Band-Aid or a bandage of some kind from the medical personnel in the box. Maybe he got dinged up, got hit by a stick or who knows what. That's above and beyond the Call of Duty there, but it is part of the Call of Duty, obviously, for the referees to keep the peace, relatively speaking, make sure that things don't get totally out of hand. So there we go. We have Poon and Palmieri in the penalty box to our left. All these penalties at the 3:17 mark. It's going to be at least 7 penalties on the board, I think, here in the third period. I have to imagine this will even up, as we've been delayed for long enough now that players are passing the puck around, trying to stay loose. Little friendly game of shinny. Well, the referee called for the puck back. I guess he doesn't like that. These penalties wouldn't technically be fighting. Gloves didn't come off. Could be looking at roughing penalties plus misconducts all around. What was that NHL ref the other night, maybe last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, said everyone on the ice gets a misconduct. It was the Senators and the Panthers in a similar blowout type game late. That's when this stuff usually happens. Again, frustration for Canon Mac. They come in 0-8. They're about to be 0-9. They're losing to the team in their own building, the team that has beaten them now. It'll be 9 times in a row. And, well, it looks like we're skating 4-on-4 right now. So we'll try to get all the penalties to you. I will try to get all the penalties to you. I don't know why I said we. Just something people say, something broadcasters say that's not exactly grammatically accurate. So there you have it, 4-on-4. O'Donoghue meandering into the attacking zone, handed it off. A wrist shot goes right through the pads of Thomas. He acted strangely when that one came in on him. Who can blame him? It's been a while. He was just standing there forever. He had I was going to say front row seat. He had more of a back row seat to all that was going on at the other end of the ice. Up the far side, turned over, lost. And the pass eludes the reach of Michael Traynor. No icing, pardon me. Thought it was going to be icing in the 4-on-4 situation. Apparently not. Jones tries to kick it forward. Alexander follows on. Snapper by Trainer. That missed everything. O'Donohue kicks it down the boards. It's a familiar name for Big Mac's fans over the years. Another O'Donohue in the lineup. Carson, the junior. Jones had his attempted move broken up, but here's Alexander, and then Jones just committed a penalty against one of the Big Macs in the near side corner. So it's going to be a 4-on-3. Oh boy, Jones clapping toward the Canon Mac bench. You just know there's a lot of talking going on that we can't hear. So, hate to single anyone out for any actions, because I'm just seeing what you're seeing, basically. So there was a major penalty issued to Roman Gasparini that was about to run out. So Gasparini got 5. Poon got 2. Now Jones about to go in here. By the way, Troy Jones is wearing Owen Lazaro's jersey tonight. Yes, I didn't know that at the start. Would have been great to know that. Someone from PT could have passed the note up, but yeah, I get it. It's high school sports. Sometimes that kind of thing happens. This is not the NHL. But anyway, so Jones is wearing 74, even though he's 92 on the official roster. So 74 is on the board because it is Troy Jones in the box. Still waiting for the online box score to update. It has not, at least as of yet. But it is a 4-on-3 Canon Mac power play, the first power play of the night. Second power play of the night for the Big Macs. One back in the second period. Musto took the wrister. That ticked off the glove of Thomas. Back to the point and a low shot. Gobbled up by Thomas. Kyle Thomas. Trying to do what no PT goaltender has done yet this year. And for the superstitious among you, I think you know what it is. PT has been shut out once this year. They've been on the bad end of that. Upper St. Clair beat them 3-0 on the road. Another shot from the perimeter by Braden Edgar. Another frozen puck in the belly of Kyle Thomas. PT has held their last 2 opponents to just 1 goal apiece, Bethel Park and Baldwin. We had that Bethel Park game for you on 10 Band 2 weeks ago. Actually, no, that was 3 weeks ago. Peters took 2 weeks off for Thanksgiving. Then right back at it last week. O'Donnell has 2 points tonight. He tried to run the gauntlet unsuccessfully. Bryce O'Donnell, the senior, number 93. We're back to 4-on-4. The power play was quick. Cross-rink delivery. PT trying to break it out. Maeda looking strong again on those skates. Loves that rounding the net move. Here he comes again. Up the far side. Gets tied up. O'Donnell steps forward. Edgar checked him. Pried the puck loose with under 11 to go in this game. We will be seeing the Miners' Cup trophy awarded after the conclusion of this one, and it will go to PT, barring some miracle, for Canon Mac for the 5th straight year. It'll go to the guys in red and black. Moser, the high toss. Into the clutches of Maeda. I can hear fans yelling down to the ice. Things are happening behind the play right now, too, that we're just not catching on the camera. And as play-by-play broadcaster, I got to follow the puck. So a lot of times, that's where I'm fixated. I should be fixated there, right? Pass to the front by Holleran under the stick of Caputo on the doorstep. And now we're back to a power play for Peters Township. This still the major penalty to Gasparini, so PT, if they score, they'll stay on the power play. Caputo in front. Ivancic couldn't guide it home in traffic. Holleran spins back, blind shot, blocked to the far corner. O'Donohue high off the glass and out. 1 minute to go on the power play. So Bednar got 2 in at 10. We're hearing it over the PA now. Roman Gasparini did get a 5-minute major for fighting. Could be the first time I've ever called a game in the PIHL where we had a 5 for fighting on the board. Caputo put it between the legs of Isbell. Caputo wanted to pull up and stuff it, but the puck drifted off his stick. Excuse me. Caputo trying to get it back. Halloran backhand play. Net knocked off its pegs as Caputo was crushed into the near side post with 19 seconds to go on PT's third power play of the night. And in a somewhat rare circumstance, there you see Caputo tumbling in to the goal frame. This is the same penalty that has led to 2 separate power plays for Peters Township because of how resulting penalties have panned out. Zach Palmieri got 2 minutes for head contact as well. They're still announcing it over the public address. Peters Township has stepped up its public address game. I don't know who's doing it, but he's doing a great job. I can hear him all the way from Michigan. Yes, I am broadcasting this game remotely, thanks to the magic of the internet and the tech wizardry of the folks at 10 Band, headed up by Todd Kazarowski. It's my 3rd year broadcasting games remotely. It's getting more and more routine. I'll tell you one thing, when I do games live, it seems super easy. It's like lifting weights and then going from like a 200-pound bench press to a simple push-up. It's really interesting. Although I still much prefer doing them live, I prefer calling games to not calling games, right? So do what you can. Kennedy Kazarowski's on the cam tonight. Cap tip to her. I was looking through the old Miners Cup games, and I noticed the name Caden Kazarowski. Hasn't been too long since he was in the PT lineup. These family names, I mentioned O'Donohue for Canon Mac, Poon on the Peters Township side. Kazarowski's a PT name. You hear a lot these days on 10 Band TV. Shot into the belly pad of Bob's from the sharp angle by Repepi, who was robbed by his, Bob's goalie tandem mate, I suppose you could say, Chase Sloan in the second period. Penalties are still being announced from that scrum, that fracas, searching for synonyms, that shot off the post. Pruss again. Eli Pruss has surprised Kyle Thomas a couple of times with firm shots from the outside. That time he rang iron through a screen. Now it's turned over. No goals in this third yet. Scouvert wristing. Bob's the save. Easy pad stop for him. Scouvert trying to fish it free, and a couple of teammates wide open in front, but couldn't regain possession. To the middle, and Ryan Walker gets a touch. A backhand feed up ahead. Couldn't connect to Scouvert. 7.5 to go in the third. Maeda, high hit there in the corner against Pruss. Play continues on. That drew an ooh from the crowd. I say high, I'm not saying illegal, just to be clear. Maeda wanted to cruise in on his backhand, but he was stripped. Smith flips it deep, and I think a penalty is being called. Uh-oh, look out. Gasparini went right after Maeda. And Gasparini, I can't believe he's still in this game, actually. I assumed he was one who got the 2 and the 10. No, pardon me, he was one of the initial penalties called in this third period of the 2-minute variety. Wow. Yeah, it's getting nasty. It has been nasty, in fact, for several minutes. The Jones penalty, by the way, was a roughing minor that led to the Canon Mac brief power play a few minutes ago. So I think we got all the penalties listed. It's a crowded box right now. We have an attendant. We have 4 Peters Township players. Poon, Palmieri, and Caputo all serving 10-minute misconducts. let me see. They add up they could still feasibly get out of the box with, they each got 2 and 10, 12 total minutes at the 3:17 mark. That'll get you to 15-17, so that would be in a 17-minute period with 1:43 left on the clock where they could get out. Mental math with Matt on this Tuesday. Caputo is going to the locker room. And the Canon Mac fans are giving him a lusty cheer on his way. Caputo had a roughing minor at 1:43 of this period, and he just got called for something else, and the refs just said, okay, that's enough. Haven't seen the game like this in a while. Not the high school level. So many of these players, of course, grow up playing together. Former Rink Rats program was a spot where players on both these teams first touch their skates to the ice. But sometimes that can also lead to contempt, right? Who do you hate losing to the most? Your sibling. At least a lot of times that's the case. So we have our second massive flare-up on the ice in this third period. Jones is in the box, wearing the number 74 Owen Lazaro jersey. Dominating performance by Jones and that Alexander Martin Jones trio. They've created they've created 4 of the 6 goals. 3 of them at 5-on-5, 1 on the power play, with 2 of the 3 out there at least. .656 to go. Scouvert turns to win the draw on his forehand. Looks like a power play for Canon Mac. 4-on-3. After all that. So I don't think Maeda was called for anything initially. I mentioned the hit that I'm sure Canon Mac didn't like. Like I said, it was on the borderline. Gajtka clearing off a stick and out of play. And I'll let you know when they add more penalties to the online box score on PIHLhockey.com. That's my invaluable resource to prepare for and call these games. I also broadcast games in Michigan, and let me tell you, the record keeping is not nearly as good as it is in the PIHL. So all the off-ice officials, you're to be applauded, especially in games like this when you got to do a lot of writing on that game sheet and a lot of typing into the laptop. Wrister by Edgar, stop by Thomas. And what's this? The net is off its moorings. Punch that off your bingo card. That's the one thing that hasn't happened tonight. It's a 5-on-3, not a 4-on-3 for Canon Mac. Tough to sort it all out, isn't it? Corbel in the corner has some room, and he goes high and hard to get it out. 55 seconds to go on the power play. For Cannon McMillan, just trying to get one here. Trying to avoid being blanked in back-to-back weeks. They lost 3-0 to Upper St. Clair here at home. And Canon Mac can't blame the schedule. So far, they've played 6 of 8 at home, even though this one is showing them as the road team. Technically, this will be 7 of 9 at home. Backhand, and Thomas makes his best save of the night. On the chance on the backside. I believe that was Vitodian. Hart right to the doorstep. Now Vitodian again. And Thomas was run over. He's on his back in the blue paint. That'll likely even things up, or at least get one man back in terms of the differential. Hart just kept going, went right through. Thomas made the save earlier. That was Edgar's chance on a backhand. So just, wow. Everything is happening, as the great Bob Cole once said on CBC. Luca Maeda got 2 for roughing at 10:04. Caputo got 2 for head contact and a 10, automatic 10 for head contact. There goes Max Hart, sophomore forward. We've had no goals in this third, but no lack of action either. Shot on goal, Bob has made a chest save unconsciously. Still a power play for Canon Mac, but just a 4-on-3. O'Donohue set sail with some extra room. What's he going to do with it? Well, he feeds it back to center, and Edgar, fan on the pass. Repepi, he tried to hook up with Jones. He's already scored once down at that end on a brilliant individual play. Here he is again. Troy Jones hit the post. Jones just roaring in. Almost his 5th point of the night. Wateska peppers one off the pad of Bob's. And out it goes. Power play for Peters. Alex Gallardini is done for the day with a 10-minute misconduct. That's on the Canon Mac side. He's been super feisty in this third period. Down to 4 minutes to go in the Miners' Cup game. Jones yanked it back against the grain. Shoots down low, does Jones, and Bob's handles it. Jones steals it away. Jones, backdoor pass, score! Power play goal. Luca Maeda. He goes under the crossbar against Bob's from in tight. Just threw those hands skyward. And the puck went skyward, right into the roof. Maeda's 3rd goal of the season. And his 2nd on the power play. 7-0. And another assist for Jones. So there it is, a goal and 4 assists for Troy Jones, wearing someone else's jersey. And we do get our first goal of this third period. Just took a while. Musto couldn't get by Phillips in the line, but Pruss holds it in. Musto slams it on net. And there's Thomas again, just holding his ground. Didn't leave that near side post. PPG for PT. They make Max Hart's roughing minor sting just a little bit more for Canon Mac. Whipping on the shot, Austin Smith, freshman for the Big Macs. He and Pruss, the 2 ninth graders, dressing regularly for Chuck Fink's team. So Jones, another well-deserved point. Maeda, who was involved tangentially in that dust-up, if you want to call it that, a few moments ago, scores immediately following. PT getting back to even strength and on the man advantage, in fact. 2 power play goals for Peters Township. Canon Mac had allowed 2 total in its first 8 games. Martin, one more try off the pad of Bob's. I shouldn't say one more. This line's been relentless tonight. Why would it stop now? Alexander pirouetting at center, just protecting the puck. It was behind him the whole time. He just didn't quite have the opportunity to handle it. Edgar wanted to slide between defenders. He did, but couldn't get the shot away. Phillips crunches Moser in the corner. Boy, the hitting is not letting up, is it? Repepi with 2 minutes to go. The shot from the neutral zone settles behind the net. Trainer gets rid of it for Canon Mac. Again, a turnover for the Big Macs in their own end. Repepi sails it high. O'Donnell trying to break this up. Driven right back in, delayed offside, washed out as the Indians tagged up. O'Donnell forechecking well. Another turnover for us. Repepi again tried to shoot, and that one's blocked. Off the shin pad of one of the boys in white. Fisher, dish to the far side. Final 90 seconds. This is our one and only game tonight on 10-Band TV, as we'll await the presentation of the Miners' Cup. After this, O'Donohue, the wrister from 60 feet. Again, Thomas has it measured. You know Peters Township trying to play solid defense to get last year's Penguins Cup winning goaltender another milestone marker here. And this is the best way to defend, isn't it? With the puck 200 feet away from your net or whereabouts. Scoovert's 1-on-3. Vatodian, I don't know why he's pinning it. Got a long time to go before the end of this game. He can't just hold it for 40 seconds. Maybe he will. Well, he's not going to be allowed to. The whistle sounds. Stopping play. And, well, the clock's going to continue to run with a 7-goal margin in the third period. So that might have just ended this game. Unless the referees are content or intent on one last face-off. They might be. O'Donnell's settling in to take this draw, circling around. Nope. That's it. On the running clock, Indians win. Indians win 7-0 for the 5th straight year. They're Miners' Cup champions here at Printscape Arena. And for the 2nd straight year, they pour on 7 goals in this rivalry matchup against Canon Mac. They've done it again, and they've won 5 in a row on the season to improve to 6-3. And as of right now, they jump from 6th into a flat-footed first-place tie in Class AAA. Canon Mac stays winless on the season at 0-9. Just about halfway through the schedule. These two teams will play again in the second half of the season on January the 30th, 7 o'clock matchup. So we'll see these two match glares and hopefully shake hands afterward in about 2 months' time. It was physical. It was at times chippy and dirty in the third period. Maybe dirty's the wrong word. It was angry. It was an angry game, my friends, after we got to 6-0, as you would imagine in this rivalry game. Kyle Thomas gets the shutout, the first PT shutout win of the season, and thus the first PT goalie to earn the clean sheet on the year. Troy Jones scores 5 points, a career high to boost his season total from 4 to 9. Including a spectacular goal in the first period, capping a 3-goal first for Peters Township. So Jones with 5 points on the night. Goal and 4 assists. Camden Martin scores the hat trick. Martin with 7 goals and 14 points on the year. Jeremy Poon had a goal and an assist. Drew Alexander had 3 assists. The senior has 12 points on the year, 6 goals and 6 helpers. And there it is, the Miners' Cup and the Miners' Cup champs for 2023-24, your Peters Township Indians, as they pose for the team photo in the zone down to our left. Good hustle from our rink cam to get down there on the ice, give us that perspective. So PT, like I mentioned, they've won 5 straight in this Miners' Cup series. In the all-time series, they've won 9 in a row against Canon Mac as they continue to dominate this matchup. Canon Mac, a young team this year. I mentioned 12 sophomores on the team, and it's a usual upperclassman-heavy lineup for Peters Township. There you see the leadership group. Camden Martin with Drew Alexander and Zach Palmieri. They all got on the board in their own ways tonight, didn't they? Palmieri scored in the first period. Yes, you've done your job. If If only we could have a camera on the ice during the game. We'll have to plant one on one of these referees at some point. Try it. And there's Rick Tingle and Cliff Bumford, that longtime duo behind the Peters Township bench. Collects another bauble for the trophy case. Of course, the goal is always the Penguins Cup and the state championship at the end of the year, but the Miners Cup is an important mile marker along the way. And the captain, Camden Martin, posing this time with his classmate Joey Wateska. "15 seniors on this PT team. It's business as usual for one of the largest programs in the nation, really, in high school hockey. So the Miners Cup, as you see there, is actually a hard hat mounted on a plaque. Only thing missing is the little flashlight on top of it. Well, thank you so much, folks, for joining us this evening. There you see Coach Rick Tingle walking off the ice, receiving a cap from, looks like one of the team managers as he walks off the ice with a wry smile on his face. His team has gotten it done again. Peters Township wins it 7-0 in the Miners Cup in 2023. Thank you again to our sponsor, WG Tomco Incorporated Contractors, one of our season sponsors for Peters Township Hockey. And again, one more mention of the James D'Angelo Foundation. Search James D'Angelo Foundation online. You'll find more information there on how to benefit the foundation, which benefits the family of James D'Angelo, who sadly was taken from us, obviously way too soon at the age of just 23 years old. 2 summers ago, former Indian hockey player, former Cal U Vulcan as well. Camden Martin scores a hat trick. Troy Jones gets 5 points. And Kyle Thomas records the first PT shutout of the season. Peters Township wins. They've won their 5th straight Miners Cup. They've won 5 in a row on the season. They've improved to 6-3. And at least for right now, pending North Allegheny's result at Erie Cathedral Prep, they're in a first-place tie, although they have played one more game than 3 of the teams in that now 5-way tie at 12 points at the top of Class AAA. For the entire Kazarowski family and everyone on site for 10 Band TV, I'm Matt Gajtka saying good night and God bless. We'll talk to you next time on 10 Band TV's High School Hockey Night Live. Did. And now Alexander has the puck again. Good pass against the grain to find Martin. He swings it along. Lazaro creeping in to Martin. Scar! 1-0. Peters Township. Martin on the doorstep. Scores the 5th. Poon centering off a skate. Oh my, that's some friendly fire on Sloan. It bounces into the goal. A score for Peters Township. They just kept hacking away, and Zach Palmer for the first goal of this game, but that was blocked and out to the safety of center ice. But here's Lazaro, regathering. What a deke! Scores! Holy, where did this? And there's Lazaro's shot. There he has it again. Well, no, it's not Lazaro, it's Troy Jones. Jones, nice move to the front. What a pass! Score! Camden Martin again. From right out in front, he's got 2 goals. Scored from maybe and about a month ago, exactly, in fact. Jones to Alexander. Got him back door. Score! Camden Martin, and yeah, Camden, that's 3. The hat trick. And pitchfork it in from center ice. led to a turnover. Maeda cruising around the outside. Maeda right out in front. Sloan makes a great save on John Repepe, bidding for his first varsity goal. Here's Repepe again. Could not do so. Was picked off. And it slides through to center. Poons got a man coming late. Poons going to shoot and score! He overpowered Chase Sloan with a wrist shot from the inner edge of the left circle. And it's got a man coming late. Poon's going to shoot and score! He overpowered Chase Sloan with a wrist shot from the inner edge of the left circle. And it's 6-0 Peters Township. 3 to go in the second period. Of Isbell, Caputo wanted to pull up and stuff it, but the puck drifted off his stick. Excuse me, Caputo trying to get it back. Halloran backhand play. Net knocked off its pegs as Caputo was crushed into the near side post with 19 seconds to go. Oh, uh-oh, look out. Gasparini went right after Maeda. And Gasparini, I can't believe he's still in this game, actually. I thought he was one who got the 2 and the 10. No, pardon me, he was one of the initial on the chance on the backside. I believe that was Vitodian. Hart right to the doorstep. Now Vitodian again. And Thomas was run over. He's on his back in the blue paint. That'll likely even things up, or at least get one. He's already scored once down at that end on a brilliant individual play. Here he is again. Troy Jones hit the post. Jones just roaring in. Almost his 5th point of the night. Shoots down low, does Jones, and Bobs handles it. Jones steals it away. Jones, backdoor pass, score! Power play goal. Luca Maeda. He goes under the crossbar against Bobs from it.